In a previous video, I emphasized the importance of posting content on LinkedIn, including sharing links that other LinkedIn users have posted. I should have added that sharing content comes with some risks. You see, LinkedIn, just like any other social media network, isn't free of fake news. So you need to be careful that in sharing to your network of contacts, you aren't inadvertently contributing to the spread of misinformation. Here are 5 stories often shared on LinkedIn that have no basis in fact. Number 1, the Eagles Rebirth. I first encountered this story at a company where I used to work. The story was printed on posters scattered all over the office. You know, something shared to inspire the troops. I've seen since versions of it shared on both LinkedIn and SlideShare. Now, the story goes something like this. By the time an eagle reaches the age of 30 or so, its physical condition has deteriorated to the point that its survival becomes difficult. Its talons lose their flexibility and it can't properly grip its prey anymore. Its beak becomes dull and bent. Its wing feathers grow thick and heavy. Now, the bird then retreats to a mountaintop where, over a 5-month period, it sequentially breaks off its beak by banging it against a rock, tears off its talons, and then plucks out its feathers, each stage producing a regrowth of the removed body part that renews the eagle and allows it to live for another 30 to 40 years. Usually this story is told in the context of preparing a company for a great transformation, that sacrifices have to be made in order to achieve success, even if it means giving up familiar ways of operating to prepare for the future, blah, 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 you get it. Well, a story with a lesson, no matter how well-intentioned, is nothing more than a parable, a fable, if it has no basis in fact, just like this story. You see, anyone who understands biology, or even any 12-year-old who enjoys Animal Planet, will know that eagles are raptors. They survive by hunting down and devouring live prey. If an eagle doesn't have feathers, it can't fly. If it can't fly, it can't hunt. If it has no beak or talons, it can't kill anything. And the eagle that can't do any of those things over a period of months, it dies. Didn't anyone ever wonder why they never see any photographs or video footage of bald, beakless, clawless eagles? It's because they don't exist. The average lifespan of an eagle is around 30 years, and after that there's no magical renewed second life. Industries that need transformation will have to find a new source of inspiration. Number 2, what wolf packs teach us about leadership. Here's another story from the animal kingdom. This one usually comes with a photo of a wolf pack walking single file through the snow. The description of the photo sounds something like, in a wolf pack, the first 3 are the old or the sick. They set the pace for the entire pack. If it was the other way around, they would be left behind, losing contact with the rest. In case of an ambush, they would be sacrificed. Then come 5 strong ones, and they're the front line. In the center, the rest of the pack members, then the 5 strongest following. Last is alone the alpha. He controls everything from the rear. In that position, he can see everything, deciding the direction. He sees all the pack. Now, the story is usually received with comments like, "Oh, animals are amazing, wonderful teamwork, and these are great lessons in leadership." Yeah, sure, nice sentiments about team dynamics, but this is nothing more than textbook anthropomorphization. Wolf packs are not organized this way at all. Some scientists even object to the whole oversimplified notion of a single alpha wolf, as this role often shifts from one pack member to another depending on the circumstance. Anyway, the fact that this isn't really true should be good news for most people. Would you really want to work for a boss who considers himself the alpha, a creature that dominates others, whose self-appointed role is to mate with all of the females? What kind of a jerk would that be? Number 3, Bullfighter has a change of heart. This photo appeared this week once again on my LinkedIn feed, and it was the inspiration for making this video. Now, this photo is described as the moment Colombian bullfighter Alvaro Monero collapsed mid-fight. It is supposed to capture the instant he came face to face with the cruelty of bullfighting, and from that day forward, Monero became an advocate to end all bullfighting. But according to fact-checking website Snopes, the real reason Monero left bullfighting was that he was gored by a bull at the age of 18, resulting in spinal cord and cranial injuries that left him paralyzed. This isn't even a photo of Monero at all, but another bullfighter altogether. It's a very nice story about contrition and redemption, but it turns out this bullfighting story is just bull. Number 4, Nokia CEO breaks down during press conference. This photo is supposed to show the moment Nokia CEO, during the company's acquisition by Microsoft, suddenly breaks down and weeps. Through the tears, he is quoted as saying, "We didn't do anything wrong, but somehow we lost." The rest of the Nokia senior management team also then joins in and starts crying. The photo is usually accompanied by dire warnings about how successful companies should never become complacent, how disruption is just around the corner in any industry. Now, I've seen this one shared a lot, and the origin of this myth is credited to LinkedIn itself, as the story seems to have been penned by a LinkedIn user. I also take this one a bit personally because I was once a proud member of the Nokia global marketing team for nearly 4 years. And anyone who knows Nokia from the inside would immediately have issues with the photo with regard to its accuracy. First of all, the CEO of Nokia, when its mobile phone division was acquired by Microsoft, was Stephen Elop, who had a full head of hair. The man in the photo is actually Steve Ballmer, the CEO of Microsoft, who would not have been in a crying mood at the time. I also know from former colleagues who were present during said press conference that the incident described never happened. So I hope we can finally give this bit of fake news a rest. Number 5. Humans have the attention span of goldfish. This last one is not only widely shared on LinkedIn, this so-called fact is repeated in every single conference about content marketing or social media. If there was ever an example of an untruth repeated so often that it becomes accepted as fact, this is it. The story refers to a study where the human attention span has gone from 12 seconds to 8 seconds, 1 second below the attention span of a goldfish. This idea has been carried in one form or another in some of the more reputable news entities, including Time, The Telegraph, The Guardian, and The New York Times. Now, please just stop and think for a moment. If human attention spans really ended after 8 seconds, how could anyone count to 10? How could a human being read a book, write a PowerPoint presentation, develop a complicated business strategy, drive a car, or design a rocket ship? How would you even be able to find your way out of the room you're sitting in right now? And yet, this demonstrably untrue fact has become so widely embraced and repeated. So please, if you hear someone talking about this overused myth, you can assure him his attention span is indeed greater than that of a goldfish. I'm just not sure about his IQ. So now you're wondering, how do I know whether or not a story is fake? Well, just like with everything else you read on the internet, first and foremost, think before you share. Consider the source. Ask yourself whether or not you find the source credible. Be wary of stories that have no source. Or better yet, post more original content. There's no substitute for writing or producing your own content. If you're a blogger, original content is essential for your SEO authority and helps ensure higher result rankings. Most important, it helps establish your personal brand, your credibility as an industry leader. Thanks for watching. If you need help with your content creation or want to consult on how to improve your LinkedIn presence, get in touch with me or anyone from the Black Marketing team.